I was halfway through a meeting when my phone buzzed with a number I didn't recognize. Normally, I'd have ignored it, but something in me, some quiet instinct, made me swipe to answer. "Mr. Daniels?" a polite male voice asked. "This is Rick from Millstone Classic Cars. I just wanted to confirm the sale authorization for your 1969 Mustang Fastback." My stomach clenched. "I'm sorry, what?" "The Mustang," he repeated, cheerfully unaware of the storm brewing in my chest. "Beautiful piece. Your wife handled the paperwork. She said you were. She sold it." I cut him off, my voice sharper than I intended. He hesitated, finally sensing something off. "She said it was a joint decision. We just processed payment this morning." The phone nearly slipped from my hand. My colleagues' voices in the conference room blurred into meaningless noise. I could only hear one sentence echoing in my head. She sold Dad's car. The '69 Mustang wasn't just a car. It was the last piece of my father I had left. He rebuilt that thing from rust and scrap after losing his job, spending weekends teaching me how to hold a wrench before I was even tall enough to reach the hood. When he passed, I couldn't bear to sell it. It wasn't about money, it was memory. And she knew that. I left the office without saying a word. I don't remember the drive home, just that my chest burned with disbelief. My wife, Claire, had always been ambitious. She liked things polished, expensive, and new. I loved that she dreamed big. It balanced my quieter nature. But lately, she'd been restless. Obsessed with social media influencers and their glossy trips to Europe. Paris was her latest fixation. Last week, she joked, maybe I should sell a kidney to afford that Paris retreat, and I'd laughed, not knowing she'd find another way to fund it. When I got home, her luggage was lined up near the door, her passport resting on top. I stood in silence for a long moment before calling out, "Claire!" She appeared from the bedroom, already dressed in travel clothes, white blouse, gold necklace, the one I bought her for our anniversary. She smiled when she saw me, that same bright, practiced smile that used to make my heart skip. "Hey, babe. You're home early. Why did you sell my father's car?" I asked flatly. Her face faltered. For a moment, I saw fear, then calculation. I was going to tell you. I just didn't want you to overreact." "Overreact?" My voice cracked. "You sold something that wasn't yours." She crossed her arms, suddenly defensive. "It was sitting in the garage collecting dust, Daniel. You never drove it. It was just rotting there. That car meant something to me." She sighed, exasperated. "You're acting like I burned down a shrine. I sold a car. For us. So I could take a trip that might open career doors, connections, sponsorships. So you could post pictures of yourself sipping wine by the Eiffel Tower?" I shot back. Her eyes narrowed. "You think so little of me?" "I think you care more about likes than love," I said quietly. She flinched, then looked away. "You wouldn't understand. You never want more. You're comfortable being small." That one hit deeper than it should have. Because it wasn't the first time she'd said something like it. I turned away, my voice shaking. "Where's the money?" "In my account," she admitted. "I'll transfer it back when I get home." "You're still going?" "I already booked everything, Daniel. Non-refundable. This trip could be life-changing." I stared at her, realizing something horrible. She didn't even see what she'd done as betrayal. To her, it was practical. "Go then," I said finally. "But don't expect me to be here when you get back." She left without another word. The next morning, the house felt like a museum. Quiet, empty, full of ghosts. I walked into the garage, where Dad's Mustang had always sat, the faint outline of its tires still visible on the concrete. I ran my hand along the dust, remembering the sound of his laughter echoing through the space, the smell of oil and metal. I felt hollow. That's when my phone buzzed again. The same number, Rick, from the dealership. "Mr. Daniels," he began cautiously, "I wanted to confirm the wire transfer went through. But there's something else." My heart skipped. "What is it?" "Well, your wife didn't exactly sell it to us. She used our platform to list it for auction. The buyer's name popped up as familiar. A Mr. Aaron Lowell. Aaron. My jaw tightened. Aaron was Claire's ex-boyfriend, the one she always swore was ancient history. The same man whose name used to appear in old text messages when she thought I wasn't looking. I managed to keep my voice steady. Do you have the address for the buyer? Yeah, it's on the paperwork. Should I email it to me? I said, cutting him off. Aaron lived 2 towns over, in one of those pretentious neighborhoods with manicured lawns and glass gates. I parked outside his driveway that afternoon, staring at the garage door. Through a small window, I saw it, Dad's Mustang, gleaming under fluorescent lights, polished to perfection. He opened the door before I could knock, smirking like he'd been expecting me. Daniel. Thought you might show up. I swallowed the anger in my throat. That car isn't yours. He shrugged. Paid fair market value for it. Check the bill of sale. This isn't about the car, I said. This is about Claire. He smiled, slow and knowing. She called me last month. Said she needed help getting something appraised. One thing led to another. Guess she realized some things never change. The air left my lungs. My hands clenched at my sides, every muscle trembling. He leaned against the doorframe. You should be proud, really. She's always been ambitious. Paris will suit her. Something in me broke then, not in a loud, dramatic way, but quietly, like a rope snapping inside my chest. I didn't punch him, didn't shout. I just walked away. Because I realized the truth. She hadn't just sold my father's car, she'd sold everything that made our life sacred. 3 days later, I got another call from the dealership. Mr. Daniels, strange thing, Mr. Lowell backed out of the deal. Said he's shipping the car back. Full refund processed. I blinked, stunned. He backed out. Yeah. Said something about unfinished business. The car's being delivered back to your address tomorrow. When the truck arrived, I stood there in disbelief as they unloaded it. Same Mustang. Same chrome. But when I opened the glove compartment, I found an envelope inside, Claire's handwriting on the front. Inside was a short note. Daniel. I'm sorry. I didn't realize what that car meant until I saw it leave. I thought money could fix everything, that success would fill the emptiness I felt. But all I've done is destroy the one person who believed in me. I canceled the trip. I'm staying at Mom's for a while. Please don't hate me. Claire. I stood there for a long time, the letter trembling in my hands. Hate her? No. I couldn't. But forgiveness wasn't something you could just sign on a dotted line. Weeks passed. The Mustang stayed in the garage again, but this time I started it up every morning. I fixed the loose wiring, changed the oil, replaced the worn-out seats. Piece by piece, I rebuilt it, like Dad once did. Sometimes, Claire would text. Small things. Hope you're doing okay. I saw the car in your story. It looks amazing. I never replied. Not out of cruelty, but because I finally understood something she never did. Love isn't built on possessions, or dreams of Paris, or fancy lives you can post about. It's built on respect. On trust. On the quiet moments you don't sell for convenience. And once that's gone, no amount of money, no apology, can buy it back. One night, months later, I drove the Mustang down the old highway Dad used to take me on. The sky was deep and endless, the road stretching ahead like a promise. For the first time in years, I felt at peace. Not because everything was fixed, but because I'd learned to let go, not of my father, not of the memories, but of the weight of someone else's choices. The car roared beneath me, steady and alive. And somewhere between the sound of the wind and the hum of the engine, I realized, sometimes losing something precious doesn't break you, it sets you free.